live from the westernunion.com VIP lounge.
Wild 94.9 Rebel Pop Radio. I'm TRUTHLiVE, TRUTHLIVE. It's not that confusing, but more importantly, we're here today. Special ascending star guest, Kiiara. How are you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
I feel great. We were touching base just a little bit before this, and if I understand correctly, is this your first time in the Bay Area?
Yeah.
In and out, short trip?
Yeah, got here last night and leaving, so not even 24 hours.
That's that life of on the way up, right?
Yeah.
So how was that? Like, well, first off, catalog-wise, you don't have the most like extensive catalog, but you have already a very successful catalog.
I know, it's wild.
That is wild, 94.9.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
no pun.
Hey, no pun. How was that experience for you just as like a human being? Like, where are you at? What's your headspace? How you feeling?
It doesn't seem real. Like, I just try not to think about it. I'm always like, all right, when can I go to the studio again or stuff like that?
Is this what you wanted when you made music? Like, did you hope for tremendous success with this, like, not only huge record as far as success, but looked at as like also artistically and critically acclaimed? Like, what did you want when you started making music?
Well, I wanted to gain the respect of the artists I looked up to. And I also, like, for the most part, just wanted to keep making music and just whatever, like, just try to top each record.
What artists do you look up to?
Eminem, Yellow Wolf, Rihanna. Yeah.
Those are pretty high standards.
Yeah,
right
the
there.
top three. Well, in my, I'm trying to think who else. Skylar Grey.
Skylar Grey. Skylar's
Yeah.
dope. Do you rap?
I like to. It's fun. I like to, like, learn.
I bet you not
Raps.
learn. I bet you have raps, huh?
Yeah, I have bars, but
Do you have them like in your iPhone on the notes or?
yeah, I'll type, because sometimes I'll just think of stuff and have to write it down and save it for later. So yeah.
So that's interesting. Like, then when you're writing your songs, what's typically the process for you in writing the tracks?
I'll freestyle melodies. Once I hear the beat, if I connect with it, then I'll just go in and the producer will be like, okay, stop. You're done. You've been there for like 15 minutes.
So it's more about like a feeling of what it should sound like vocally and melodically, and then you fill in the space with
yeah,
what
then I put the
that come.
words next. Sometimes I already have a general idea, but most times it's just melodies is easiest.
I think that's the best way to do it. I think it's what keeps it so like a natural feeling, which really
Yeah.
comes across. And well, we have to address the elephant in the room, for lack of a better phrase. Like, Gold is a huge record. Like, what's the process behind that song? Felix Snow produced that record?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could kind of just give us a origin story of that track.
Well, I wrote it classical, like the general idea on classical guitar 3 years ago, and just set it to the side. And a friend of mine who I was co-writing with really liked it, but I worked with Felix and made a down-tempo version of it and all of that. So we all just met in the middle, meshed them together, and made Gold that everyone hears.
You just made Gold with gold.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? Like,
Well, I
just
was
with
just saying,
the different versions?
Yeah, you guys, you came across, and like, some musical alchemy right there. Like, the process
Yeah.
of that, like,
It went through just 3 different transitions, so.
to arrive to what we're hearing now
Yeah.
on the radio. Is it a trip that the song is new in terms of like a commercial aspect, but not for you to know that and like see it as it still hasn't reached its full audience, in my opinion. It hasn't maxed out yet, So what's that like for you to be like,
For so many people to have heard it?
well,
and
for
stuff like that?
for it to be something that you had and you did, and
Yeah, it seems like so old
Exactly.
old to me. Yeah, because I thought nothing of it. I was like, no, I can do better. So I just would put it to the side. So yeah.
So I heard you used to play volleyball,
Yeah,
You
year
did?
round. It was
like year-round competitive volleyball.
Yeah, so I did the school and then club. So
School and club. What position did you play?
I played everywhere. So like setter, middle, wherever. It was fun.
Can we have an Atlantic versus iHeart volleyball game?
That would be sick.
Can you
I'm so
coordinate that?
competitive though. Like, I get really into it.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Gabby's pretty ill at volleyball. Is that true, or is that just a
Really?
rumor? We'll just look around, keep it moving from there.
Oh my gosh.
So-
that has to happen now.
I'm curious. I haven't gotten a chance to see your live show.
Yeah, well, I've never performed yet. So my first show is July 20th, San Diego. So
that's why I've never seen your live shows.
yeah, because it's never
performed
happened.
yet.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought I was up on this lady on her come up, and she's what's going on? What does it look like as far as like, is it a producer, DJ, vocalist track show, or live band, or a combination, or what do you got going on?
Live band. So I have a drummer and then bass player on keys. And then myself.
You said
So-
you originally wrote Gold as an acoustic guitar song.
Yeah. but there's no guitars in the
but
show.
Do you play other instruments?
I'll mess around with piano and guitar. Like, I'm not really good at it. I just play what sounds right. And I tried flute, so I mean, I don't know.
You tried flute?
Well, I played it for a year and then got bored. It's like, what else? What's
this
next?
Is really, really boring. Right?
Yeah.
You're like, I'd rather just make massive records.
I would just then I started writing. I was like, yeah, I can write. I'm good at this. But really, I had no idea what I was doing.
So if somebody were to Google you right now, and by the way, it's Kiiara, right? Which is sort of a unique spelling. There's a lot of different ways that people are describing your sound and your music. How do you describe the way that you actually sound?
Just, I don't know. I would just say experimental, because I never know what I'm going to make when I go into the studio. It's just how we feel in that moment.
So you don't have like a marriage to like, we need to make this type of music because this is what I like or this is what people are responding to?
No. I just tell the producer too, I'm like, the weirdest production you have, or let's just start from scratch and just no boundaries for like sound.
Got to be refreshing, I think, for a lot of the producers that you work with, because a lot of times people are just trying to recreate something that was already successful rather than just like vibe out and make music.
Yeah. The structure, I kind of like to mess with structure a little bit. So it's really hard when you go in and they're like, this line should rhyme with this one, and I think we should dumb it down. And I'm like, no, what are you doing? So stuff like that.
I think for the way you're going about music is a good time in which you're doing your music, because a lot of the traditional rules of what constitutes pop music are being broken down. Like if you look at the charts right now, there's a lot of tracks like Gold, even for example, I think people might have thought of as being like a big indie record and like festival circuit kind of record, but not necessarily like a top 40 smash. And yet you legitimately have a top 40 smash on your hands.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy.
I didn't think that when we uploaded it on SoundCloud. We're like, maybe 1,000 people will hear it. And then it just, it's wild.
That's a trip.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. I have a genuine smile on my face to know like that authentically you're just doing
we weren't
something
trying.
you love.
We're just like, let's just put it up and see. I don't know, who cares? And then we were still making new stuff, so.
It's a different era in music, though, where you can continue to just make good music, and a lot of good music that doesn't necessarily have rules or fit a genre is what is driving top 40 records right now, especially on the experimental electronic side. Do you do any of the production, like actually get in there and playing?
No. I just let Felix do a lot of it, because the chemistry was there, and I didn't have to say anything.
How much more can we expect from you and Felix as a combo?
I would say, I think we're going to get back in the studio in a little bit and finish up the album, put final touches.
Sure.
And stuff.
Which other producers are you currently working with? Or actually, more important, I'm more curious which producers you haven't worked with that you would like to work with.
That I haven't?
Like Wishlist, Magic Wand.
Wishlist? I don't know. I focus more, my wishlist is like writers I know. Producers, I don't know till I hear something.
So it's all feeling.
Yeah. So if you send something and
don't fight the feeling, don't force the feeling.
It's just all about
I do that.
the sound.
Your first time in San Francisco, you're headed out shortly also, if I understand correctly.
Yeah.
What do we have to do to bring you back and show you San Francisco Bay Area and let you know like this is the land of music that I've heard from you? Like we got that. We love it. Like we need you back out here.
Yeah, no, I want to come back soon.
We have to.
For sure. And I want to get a burrito. Bad. We don't have time. We got here, had coffee.
Had I known, I would come with a burrito option, layout, ABC. I mean, you have to go to, I don't know if I can shout it out there. Some people probably know what I would say. But anyways, we could have this conversation all day. I really appreciate what you're doing musically from what I've heard so far.
Thank you.
You know, kind of a music snob. And thumbs up. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. Is there anything you wanted to touch on or address that...
Just probably July, like the tour is starting in like a week, so.
Where does it start at?
San Diego.
And
then,
Where
Denver.
does it start the journey?
Denver, Arizona. I'm not sure if it's that order. And I end up at Lala.
Is there anyone else on that tour that is we should know about or relevant?
Yeah, I'm bringing my friend Lil Aaron. So, it'll be sick.
Lil Aaron's dope?
Yeah,
I'm sleeping on Lil Aaron?
Yeah, you're sleeping. You haven't heard Damn or any of those?
I've seen
What are
Lil
you doing?
Aaron.
No, I'm just kidding.
I've seen Lil Aaron like come across the feed. I haven't. I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
So you're co-signing.
Check it out. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Actually, I did have one more thing. I know a lot of people have touched on that. Like, the press I've seen from you before was that you were working in a hardware store, and now here you are. But I know there's so much more to it than that. Like, obviously, you were making music. What were you actually doing? Like, how were you able to make music? I'm not interested in whether you were selling bolts and nuts. Or like, what were you doing musically?
What even are those? I don't even know. Yeah.
You didn't last there long, did you?
No, I don't know how they didn't fire me, but yeah.
If you wouldn't mind, like, elaborating on, like, your process between then and here, like, what you were doing musically. If I understand correctly, you were an intern at a studio, right?
Yeah.
If you could tell us a little
So I
bit
did
about
that. So once a week I would go to the studio and hang there. Learned a lot about like the whole recording process because it was all new to me. And I just was writing, whether I was in my dorm room or at home, just all day. I would sit in my room for like 8 hours and write.
In your dorm room?
Yeah.
So you were in school?
I did. Yeah, I dropped out twice.
You dropped out. College dropout
Twice.
from Illinois?
Yeah.
This has a familiar ring to it. This has a very familiar ring to it.
Yeah.
Please, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no,
Stuart.
it's okay. So I would just write, and then I was working with Felix, so we would write via email. He would send me beats, and then I would send back like acapellas that I recorded in my room. So they were like horrible quality, and he would just turn it into, he would make it dope.
Isn't that a trip, though, that we're at a place technologically, like, you even think it's horrible quality, but you can take something and make it.
Yeah, he sends it back. I'm like, how did you do that? Oh, my goodness.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
it's pretty
addicting.
amazing. So for all you people out there doing music, based on what you just said, you really are like an organic success story, which is pretty rare, in my opinion. Is there any words of advice you have for artists? I know you're still really young, you know, in a birthing career, but is there something, you know, that's worked for you, a message you like to share, as cliche as that might be?
I would say just don't be afraid to hear the word no, because you just have to reach out and, yeah. So don't be afraid of that, because it's going to happen. People are going to say no, and then you're going to get that one that's going to say, yeah, like, let's work. So.
You heard it.
Yeah.
From somebody
Don't be afraid of no.
Don't be afraid of no. Don't be afraid of gold.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
be afraid of gold. We got to do this. This is obligatory. Could you please reach out to the world, plug your social media for us?
Yeah,
People got to know how to find you and follow you. I'm sure they already are if they're up on you. If they're not, this is a great opportunity.
Yeah. So it's Twitter, Instagram's at Kiiara with 2 I's. And Facebook's Kiiara. Lil Kiki is my Snapchat. So follow me there.
She's low-key savage,
Oh, yeah.
right?
A low-key savage.
Which is a high, bold statement. I like that. And that's very Californian, by the way.
Wow, yeah.
We could do this all day. Kiiara, thank you so much for coming.
No, thanks for having me.
I am saying it right, Kiiara?
Yeah, Kiiara.
Okay, because I've been saying it that way. I feel terrible if I've been saying it wrong.
I hear so many ways that they all just sound the same to me.
Just
So
like,
you could probably say Kiiara, and I'll be like, yeah.
same. You're like, just go buy the record.
Yeah.
Right?
Just
Just spell it correctly online.
Just call me like Kiki. I don't care anything.
Just find it. Wild 94.9, westernunion.com, VIP Lounge, Rebel Pop Radio. Kiiara, we're going to continue this conversation, but for you guys and your voyeurism, that's a wrap.